Elaine Harvey here from Lullababy SOS, and I just wanted to talk to you guys today about breastfeeding versus bottle feeding. Many mums get told that their babies will sleep longer if they give them a bottle of formula or a bottle of breast milk, just so that they can count calories and know exactly how many calories that their baby is getting, and therefore knowing that they can sleep longer. I wanted to try and debunk that theory and just explain the differences between breastfeeding and bottle feeding, and why bottle fed babies tend to sleep longer or feel more satiated for longer than breastfeeding babies. So if we think about the way that a bottle feeding parent would feed their baby, they typically have their hands full. They are feeding their baby with their bottle, and they're kind of watching what their baby's doing, because I haven't got a hand free to do other things. So they will feed their baby, and when their baby gets a bit lazy on the bottle, they'll tend to give it a bit of a shake. Then maybe pick it up, have a look at it and go, hey, come on, have a little bit more. Then maybe move their arms or have a little bit of a play with them to try and encourage them to feed a little bit better. If they do get a bit lazy on that feed, parents will often put the bottle down, sit them up, give them a burp, put them over the shoulder, and then come back and give them the feed again. So when a bottle feeding parent is feeding their baby, on average it takes about 10 to 15 minutes, maybe a little bit longer for younger babies. When a breastfeeding parent is feeding their baby, they tend to be a little bit more like this, with their phone in their hand, or distracted with some other stuff over here, or having a chat, or watching an episode on Netflix or something like that. We're generally kind of keeping a little bit of an eye, and if they're getting a bit lazy, they just give them a little bit of a pat, or, not hugely paying attention to how well your baby is swallowing. Now, with a breastfed baby, the way that you can encourage your baby to feed well, like a formula-fed baby, is when you're feeding them, watch them. Keep an eye on what they're doing, keep an eye on their mouth and their throat, and see whether or not their throat is moving, so that you can see the swallowing action happening. When they are getting a little bit lazy on the feed, much like the parent who shakes the bottle, you can move your baby's arms up and down, like right up and right down. These little tickles here really don't work for babies over about 2 months of age. But generally, what I want you to do is be massaging your baby, playing with their feet, and really kind of encouraging a much bigger feed with them. When your flow is getting a little bit slow, you can give your breast a wee bit of a squeeze to try and encourage that milk down, okay? If they are getting super lazy on the feed, it's best to take them off, give them a bit of a stretch, give them a bit of a burp, and then come back and go, come on, have a little bit more. Come on, baby, take a little bit more. Once they finish that first side, are getting quite lazy on that first side, it's time to swap them over. Swap them over and get them to take the second side. Try and make it efficient. Remember that this is their dinner table, not their bed. So try and encourage them to eat well and not play with their food. If you can encourage an efficient feed, then your baby will learn to feed to fuller, and that will keep them satiated for longer. I hope this tip helps. Have a great Friday.